Hello, darlings. We're going to have a glimpse at the beautiful art of the celebrity artist Joanne Colely. Hello, darling.
Hello, darling.
How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Joanne, please tell me a few words. I know you're so busy. In last 12 months, I see and read everywhere, Joanne supported this cause, painted this incredible celebrity. What's happening? Whom did you paint latest and whom did you support with your work?
Yes, so I actually supported Telethon or Zero to Hero Youth Suicide, Leukemia Foundation and Motor Neuron Disease. All of these causes are fantastic and close to my heart, and especially helping you with the breast cancer awareness. So some of the celebrities that I've painted is Nick Nat Nui, Nat 5, Daniel Ricciardo, and also the famous Alf Stewart from Home and Away, Ray Meager. So it's been an absolute honour and pleasure to be able to see my artwork personally signed by these artists, by these celebrities, and be able to make a difference with these
Beautiful.
charities.
And tell me about this beautiful work. Tell me the meaning of it.
Yes, so I actually painted this in honour of a dear friend of mine called Monica, and I actually named her Adira Monica, which Adira is actually Latin for strength, and Monica is Greek for unique. So I felt that unique strength encompasses everything that breast cancer awareness stands for. So I wanted a really strong woman that was powerful.
Beautiful.
And I really felt that this encompasses that.
Beautiful. Since we're running out of time, before I
Yes.
sit with you again, what's your next biggest project?
It's actually you, Barbara.
Oh,
So if you don't mind,
yes.
I'm just going to take a few minutes.
Oh,
And I'm just going to touch it up for you.
That's
Yeah?
amazing.
Is that okay?
Yes,
Yeah?
thank
Awesome.
you.
Okay.
Today my very special guest on Hello Darling is Joanne Colely, an artist and mother who found the strengths and resilience to create new beginnings after facing many challenges in life. Her strength and grace in having the power within to make a change is an inspiration to all. Joanne from Oz found self-belief and now is devoting her passion for art to help others. Hello, darling.
Hello, darling.
I can't wait to see it.
Oh,
Did you paint me like one of those French girls, Jo?
I did. Are you ready to see?
I can't wait.
Okay, I've been so looking forward to this. Oh.
Oh, mon Dieu. Hello, darling. This is incredible. Joanne, this is incredible. I love it. I
so
love
glad.
it. Thank you. Thank you so much. It glows in the dark. Thank you. Can we chat now?
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Okay, I'll just pop this over here.
Joanne, thank you. Thank you for finding time. Just sit.
Yes,
And now we're going to turn back before we turn back the clock.
yes.
When you decided to paint celebrities and to support worthy causes, how did it happen? Just before we go to your story whom did you know to do it?
Oh, so I worked for Yellow Pages and for Google.
Yes.
And 22 years worth of my advertising and marketing career. So I picked up a lot of contacts along the way. So they approached me and asked me, and one thing led on to the next. So it kind of became a bit of a chain reaction from there. And I managed to raise very close to $100,000 for all of these charities in the last 12 months, which is really exciting.
Most memorable experience in painting one of the celebrities, excluding me?
Oh, yeah. I think painting, it's really difficult to actually answer that because every face was unique and every face had its own challenges. I think it was really exciting to get my painting flown over to the Home and Away set.
Yes.
Because my parents are massive fans, so that was really great to get him to do that and get a photo of him in the diner and the surf club and that kind of a thing. So that's great.
Daniel Ricciardo, I
Yes.
noticed that he's not smiling. He has this famous smile, and
yes.
you painted him serious.
Yes, it's funny you say that because I have been asked that because they're like, well, where's his smile? And I said, well, I feel that he's now going into a next level in his career. So I think he's got a lot more intensity. I mean, he's not going to be racing those cars with that goofy smile on his face, is he? He's intense, and that's his passion.
Yes.
So I wanted to show that passion, because at the end of the day, I wanted to paint something that's inspirational, that you can look at and it radiates and inspires, rather than, the smile, the famous smile.
Talking about next level, we're going back to a little bit to the past, and I have to mention something. You're supporting another worthy cause, which is the Kiss Violence Against Women Goodbye campaign.
Yes.
And you painted a beautiful, beautiful portrait of...
Constance Hall.
That's right.
Yes,
Who
yes.
is the Wonder Woman of the Year.
Yes.
This cause is especially close to your heart.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm very passionate about it. And I really hope that I can make a difference in that particular cause as well. Definitely.
And Joanne, may I ask you, why is this cause so close? Because this is one of the main reasons we're doing the interview today.
Yes.
Is to inspire women,
Yep.
people,
Yep.
our viewers,
Yep.
to share your incredible journey of self-invention,
Yep.
on completely turning life around.
Yep.
Tell me the beginning of your journey,
Yep.
how it all happened.
Well, I believe that when people think about domestic violence, they think it's all hitting and that kind of thing. It's not always. There's also domestic abuse, which is emotional abuse. And unfortunately, those are the scars that you can't see. So you might see a smile on the outside, but you can't see the pain. And sometimes those scars run deeper and are a lot tougher. So, what I would like to do is show women that I think what happened with me is I believed that I could change him. And I believed that he would change, because I'm forever glass is half full. And so a million chances. And but you know what? Then I thought about how difficult is it for us to change ourselves? So who did I think I was? And I think that was the hardest thing for me in my journey, is to actually realize that I could not change this person, and I had to accept him for who he was, and realize that I was just going around in circles and going around and around. And definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. So there comes a time and a moment when you need to make a change.
Okay, you said to accept him the way he was, but it wasn't acceptable. You were suffering.
Yes.
You were bullied. You were mentally tormented. Can you give me some examples of the silent killing?
Yeah.
Most extreme ones. We can't talk about it all. Only those that you feel comfortable in giving as an example for our viewers again.
Yeah. There's a term called gaslighting, where you are made to feel like you blame yourself for the things that happen, and after a while they somehow convince you that it is your fault, and you believe the bad rather than the good, and you get to a point where you think you lose your self-worth. And I think what I did was I buried myself in my work and my gym, because and I just kept myself busy, because I didn't really want to face what was really happening. And then it got to a point where I thought, no, I can't do this, because I have two beautiful little girls who are watching me. And I wanted to create, I'm showing them that this behavior is okay. And that's what I'm teaching them without realizing. So I got to a point where I thought, no, I want to show them what positive energy in a home, which is so important to give them that beautiful, happy childhood.
Joanne, what I always wonder, relationship, marriage, regardless, everything obviously is beautiful to the point that people decide to stay together, to move together, or to get married, even further, to have children. When does the change occurs first time? Or how long until you realize that the partner is abusive?
Yeah.
How long do you lie to yourself?
Yes.
Give me an example of him making you feel worthless, making you feel little, making you feel not confident with yourself. I need few examples for the viewer to understand what the women would identify with that maybe are going through, or to prevent that they will. Give me an example as a warning signs.
Okay. When you wake up every morning and you you forget who you are. You forget what you love, and you forget your passions because someone is constantly telling you and making you feel worthless. My art is no good. My piano playing is no good. Just constant. And you start to believe that and you start to live it, and then you forget who you actually are. And I think what happened for me is one day I just couldn't find any more excuses for it anymore. I walked down the beach one day and I just, I felt different. I felt the change. I felt that it was time that I needed to be a better role model for my children, to show them how to walk on your own. So I think sometimes you have to remove yourself from a situation to actually see it for what it really is. So I went away on a short holiday with a girlfriend, and she left earlier and I was there for 3 days on my own. And I loved it because I really got to have a lot of self-reflection. And I did a few tours and I met a lovely couple. And on my last evening, I was dining on my own and a lady came up to me and she said, "Jo, you seem really lovely. I just couldn't help but notice. I feel like I had to come and talk to you just now and tell you that you talked so much about how wonderful your girls were, but you not once spoke about your husband." And she said, "I just want to tell you, I'm in my second marriage now." And he was standing there, obviously in love. And she goes, "I just want to tell you that your kids just want to see you happy. A lot of women feel trapped to stay because they feel like they need to for their kids. But," she said, "no, they just want to see you happy." And she just really looked at me and she smiled and winked and then she walked away. And it was just one of those moments. It was that aha moment where I realized that was my turning point. I knew what I had to do when I came back.
So you believe we meet people for a reason. We have to be in the right place in the right time.
Yes, and when you ask me what made me change, there were so many little things like that all the way along the way. It was like little clues, and eventually you just get to a point where you're like, okay, all right, I know what you're trying to tell me, and you know that you need to do it.
Joanne, I believe you started painting in the early stage of your relationship and you were hiding your art away, not to showing to anybody or your partner or your husband. Can I touch on it?
Oh, I had paintings around my home.
Yes.
But he didn't like my artwork, so I hid away all of my paints, put them all away. And it was another change of events, actually. I met a lady who said to me that, this is an awkward story, she's a psychic. And she actually said to me, she goes, "I don't know you, but I know that you have some art equipment, and the moment you pick that stuff out, you're going to make money." And I thought, what an odd thing to say. I didn't even know this lady. She actually approached me at a party, and it was really strange. Anyway, so I came home and I pulled out those paints, and my daughter happened to have a friend over, and her mum said to me, "Oh, do you paint?" And I'm like, "Well, I haven't for a long time." And she goes, "Could you teach my daughter?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I've never taught before, but I'll give it a go." And it actually became something I absolutely loved, and word got out about my art teaching, and I got more and more students. But what I found interestingly is, because I play classical music, I like to calm the children and get them into that creative, calming, almost like an art therapy.
Okay, so art therapy, art is like a common language. So you helping children how to learn how to paint.
Yes.
But you also mentioned that some children need psychological support through this.
Yes.
How can art be instrumental in healing people or helping them to heal their own journey?
It shocked me how much it affected these children. So I got a lot of children coming to me who were homeschooled. They had a lot of medical issues like ADHD, autism, a lot of behavioural issues. And the amount of times that parents dropped their kids off and went, "Oh, just call me if they start throwing things." Those kids were actually ended up being my best students. I also had students who didn't say a word, and they were absolutely withdrawn. And they fascinated me because I wanted to know what world they were in, and I would slowly draw it out. So every week I would use a different medium, so it was always different because I wanted them to explore everything. And so now some of these children aren't homeschooled anymore. They've got self-confidence. Some of them have now gone on and got casual jobs. I had one child that ended up winning a full high school scholarship after 3 years of my tuition. And it's just so wonderful to see the effect that you can have on another person just by teaching them something different and new. And they don't have to be good at it.
That's right.
It doesn't matter. It's just the act of painting.
Beautiful. What would be your 5 or 3 key messages for women who are watching us today when they are in an abusive relationship?
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be black eye. When they being mentally silent, as you say, words can hurt much deeper than a black eye.
Yes.
What is your main advice?
My main advice to them is they can do it. They can find the strength within. You can't stay in a relationship they're making you feel anything less than what you deserve. I look back on my own childhood, and my family was so in love and so wonderful. So I don't know at what point that I got to where I believed that I deserved anything less. So you need to reflect on that and think about when you're made to feel so worthless, it's not true, and I'm living proof of it. So you can do it, you can bring yourself out of that and start again, and no matter what age that you're at.
Yes, thank you. Now, Joanne, a lot of women don't leave relationships because they feel financially trapped. What was your plan to start making your own new life? What was the first steps?
Well, it was quite interesting, and this is where my art sort of took off actually, because I realized how much I enjoyed teaching, and I found that I was actually looking forward to my weekends rather than my daily job.
Yes.
And I actually also initially started doing that because it was bringing in an income for me so that I could afford to treat my children and take them out to movies and do wonderful things with them. Because after, I didn't have any child support or any financial assistance, so I relied purely on the money that I was bringing in to pay for the mortgage and everything else, but there was nothing else left over. So what I found when I started to do this, you have to start thinking outside the box. You have to start thinking, okay, what else can I do that can slowly, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to work at it. You have to build yourself up and have a plan. And so that actually started to take off surprisingly a lot quicker than what I thought. And then I ended up going on, and I'm now getting a degree in art. I'm halfway through now.
Beautiful.
And so along with,
Do you believe that if you wouldn't have gone through this journey of suffering and abuse, that you would have discovered the strengths and the talents you've got now?
Absolutely not. So ironically, I wouldn't change a thing because I would not be the person that I am today. And I feel like sometimes things happen to you so that you can help others. And I'm really hoping that there's someone out there today that's listening, even if it's just one woman, that I can inspire and let them know that they can do this.
Beautiful.
And they are worth it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Joanne, if I was to give you a magic wand, and I say to you, you have 2 wishes.
Yeah.
One for the world and one for yourself. What would be your 2 wishes?
My 2 wishes. You know what? I'm so happy at the moment. I can't imagine having anything more other than to continue what I'm doing, but get better and become the role model that I want to be for my girls.
Is there anybody in the world you're dreaming? This is for yourself.
Yep.
You are dreaming to paint?
Oh my goodness. Actually, I'd love to paint Chris Hemsworth. That's my next goal out
Does
there.
he know yet? Does he know yet?
Not yet, but I'm working on that because there's an event coming up that's appropriate to that. But, I am so happy to paint anybody, and I really love the fact that my artwork is changing other people's lives through this charity. Not only through the charity, but also through the art classes. But again, I wouldn't change anything because I wouldn't have my beautiful girls that I have today.
Beautiful. Joanne, and the wish for the world. I won't let you off. The world that is currently in a huge tournament and trouble. What's your wish for the world?
So I think at the moment, when what we've just gone through with COVID, I believe there's a lot of women out there who would be in a similar situation, and now that it's easing, they're actually at that point where I was, where you're looking back and seeing it for what it actually is, and then making that realization and that aha moment. And I just want to let them know that there is a way out. I do want to mention that I've now found a wonderful man in my life who is absolutely wonderful. He's actually taught me what real love is, and also my children as well. So,
Beautiful. Joanne, thank you so much for being on Hello Darling show. I wish you all happiness and thank you for helping others. And
Thank you.
congratulations on your strengths.
Thank you.
Thank you.